Hi guys, welcome to the show. It is your girl Sarah right here on Relaks Radio, and it's in fact Friday morning. All right, it's exactly it's exactly 6:15 a.m. here in England. I am super excited to be here because we're going to be talking about a lot of different things. So make sure to stay tuned and make sure to share your thoughts and opinions with me because I would absolutely love to hear everything that you have to say as well. All right, now we're going to be talking about a lot of different things, even though it's just Friday, and I have a lot of conversation to make sure I keep you updated and informed about all of these things that are happening. So make sure to stay tuned and make sure to stay, or rather, keep yourself updated by being a part of Relax Radio. All right. Now, if you want to get in touch with me and share your thoughts and your opinions with me, well, that's very easy because all you need to do is just text me or call me on 078 share your thoughts, share your opinions because I would absolutely love to hear everything that you have to say. Okay. And obviously, don't forget to actually like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and obviously to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well because that will actually help you be updated and informed about everything that is happening. All right, and while you're at it, don't also forget to go download the app because that's available on both the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, and you can actually make sure that you're always informed and you're always updated about all of these things just by being a part of Relax Radio. Okay, and now let's actually head into our conversation because we're going to be talking about how the NHS is planning to vaccinate children who are above the age of 12 and upwards. All right, now obviously we all have plans here in England to actually make sure that the entire population is vaccinated, right? And so far we've done the above 60 group, we've done the 30 to 60, and then we've done the 18 to 30, and then they were also the green light was also given for 16 and 17-year-olds to get their jabs, right? And now the NHS is actually planning to vaccinate 12 to 15-year-olds because they want to make sure that as much people are vaccinated as much as possible. All right, now obviously with this you're going to have a lot of people with greater immunity, with better immunity, and that's going to be absolutely amazing. So if you have any opinions, if you have any thoughts you want to share with us, please feel free to go ahead and do that. But right now, let's actually head into our conversation. All right, now NHS England has been told to prepare to administer COVID vaccinations to all children aged 12 and above because vaccine advisors actually are still continuing to consider whether to extend the program, right? And this is according to multiple reports that were released as well. Now, the planned extension to the vaccination program could actually coincide, or rather would coincide with the start of the new school year. Okay, and NHS trusts have been told to have plans prepared by 4 p.m. on Friday, which is today, and this was what was reported. All right, so by 4 p.m. today, they'll basically have plans prepared so that the NHS can actually figure out if they want to go ahead and give 12 to 15-year-olds the jab. Okay, now children aged 12 and 15 in the UK are in fact currently offered coronavirus vaccines only if they have certain health conditions or they live with vulnerable people. But obviously, when it comes to the distribution of vaccines, that has already been extended to that age group. There are countries like the United States, like Germany, like Israel, who've already had the vaccine extended to those age groups, right? And obviously, with that, they've also made sure that all of these kids who are getting vaccinated, especially during in that age gap, actually have protection as well, right? Now, the whole purpose of the vaccine is to actually make sure you have added immunity, make sure you have added protection, and that is exactly what this is doing, right? And the truth is, if we just wait longer and longer, simply because that younger children are at a much less risk than older children to actually get, or older people to get COVID-19, we're still losing on some of the time that could potentially be used to vaccinate all of these children, right? So like I said, even though in the United Kingdom we're just deciding right now to give 12 to 15-year-olds vaccines, in the United States, in Germany, in Israel, they've already gone ahead and done that, right? Now, the Joint Committee on Vaccines and Immunization, the JCVI, has also been considering whether to extend vaccine deployment to younger people in the United Kingdom. But one member actually recently admitted that the panel was being very cautious, right? Because what he said was, know what, children very seldom experience serious COVID, right? It's very rare, meaning that any possible side effects of vaccines must actually be weighed carefully against its potential benefits. All right. So it's very important for these, for this panel to actually weigh in the side effects versus the benefits and actually see what exactly needs to be done, right? Because again, at the end of the day, these are children, and more often than not, children don't necessarily experience the worst symptoms of COVID, but obviously there have been instances, right? Now, there was this whole myth, or this claim rather, that only older people got long COVID, that it was impossible for young children or younger people to get COVID. And what happened was there were children with long COVID, and they seemed to be suffering from multiple symptoms of long COVID, right? There was this one girl called Nia who was suffering from a heart condition, and she's someone who used to be really active as well. So this is the thing, right? We also have these assumptions where we assume, what, they're children, they're probably not going to get, the worst conditions of COVID. But the truth is, in some instances, that does happen. In some instances, children do get those worst conditions. So then in instances like that, what are you going to do? Because if you vaccinated those children, they probably wouldn't be in that exact same position. All right. And now let's actually very quickly head into a break, because we have a lot more left to talk about. So until then, make sure you stay tuned.
And it gives them something to look at, and it makes them laugh. It makes them laugh. So that's why I do it.
Oh, and it could be a really good pickup line as well. Ladies who ask, "Hey, excuse me, so why are you wearing something so colorful?" I mean, hey, you can always have something up on your sleeve. I mean, got me thinking. You want to stand out. Why do you want to stand out though so much, especially with these kind of shirts when you're riding? There must be a purpose behind it, right?
Well, when you say a purpose, Nick, what I do, I wear the shirts, and mainly one because they're nice and bright. So they make me visible, especially if I'm riding on the road.
Okay. I mean, that's very important, right? Because you want cars, yeah.
Very important. And also, like, people see me in like calves, and perhaps I shouldn't be saying this on here, I suppose, but in the bar afterwards.
All right.
And it gives them something to look at, and it makes them laugh. It makes them laugh. So that's why I do it.
Oh, and it could be a really good pickup line as well. Ladies who ask, "Hey, excuse me, so why are you wearing something so colorful?" I mean, hey, you can always have something up on your sleeve. I mean, you look like a guy who would do.
You know me too well. You know me too well, Nick.
Hi guys, welcome back to the show. It is your girl Sarah right here on Relaks Radio, and I am super excited to be here. All right. Now, like I said, we're having a very important conversation with regard to vaccination, with regard to vaccinating children, and we're talking about why exactly, this kind of needs to be done when we actually have time, right? Because the longer we wait, the more time that we lose on, the more time that we potentially lose that could potentially save so many lives, right? So that's why we're having this conversation, and I hope you're having an absolutely amazing day, because I just started my day and it looks like it's going to be pretty amazing. All right. So if you want to share your thoughts, if you want to share your opinions with me, feel free to do that. All you need to do is just actually text me or call me on 078-52473473. Text me, just go ahead, because I would love to hear everything that you have to say right now. We're talking about a wide range of things today. We're going to be talking about COVID. We're going to be talking about Afghanistan. We're going to be talking about, Brexit and all of those things. So make sure to stay tuned, because tuning into the Sunrise on Relaks Radio is the best way for you to keep yourself updated on the very latest news that happens all over the world. All right. Now, before we actually head into our conversation, I want to very quickly remind you that you can in fact go like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and actually subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, because that way you can actually make sure that you're always informed and you're always updated about all of these things that are happening in the world. Right now, the days are passing by so fast, and there are so many different things happening so fast. It's pretty scary how these things are happening so fast, because if you think about it, like August is pretty much over by Tuesday, and it's basically Friday today. So that just goes to show, and you know what, this month is going to finish this year is going to finish in a few more months. So actually, if you think about it, time has been passing by really, really fast, right? So the best way for you to keep yourself updated rather, about all of these things that are happening so fast is by tuning into Relaks Radio. Okay, now, like I said, don't forget to download that app either, because that's available on both the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, and I would absolutely love to hear everything that you have to say as well. So don't be shy. You can listen in from anywhere in the world at any time of the day, right here on Relaks Radio with me, Sarah, on the Sunrise. Okay. And now let's actually head into our conversation, because we were talking about how the NHS is actually planning to vaccinate children from the ages 12 to 15. Okay, so let's actually head back into that conversation. Now, there have actually been rare cases of myocarditis and pericarditis in young recipients of the Moderna vaccines, such as those made by Moderna and Pfizer, which have actually led to concerns in the United States. Right now, the Oxford University developed AstraZeneca vaccine was actually restricted to over 40s in the United Kingdom. Right, and this was because they found that this vaccine could cause potentially fatal blood clots in some recipients. Okay, and there were people who died from those blood clots as well. But the thing is, it was just there for some people. Now, a lot of people here in the United Kingdom have been vaccinated with AstraZeneca, and it's obviously not in the United Kingdom as well. There are other parts of the world that actually have people who have been vaccinated with AstraZeneca. All right. So that's important to keep in mind. And basically, Devi Sridhar, who happens to be one of the leading figures with regard to vaccines, with regard to getting children vaccinated, she basically stated that right now what we're doing is we're waiting and watching. And the issue with that is that when you're in a pandemic, waiting and watching actually costs a lot of time. Right, because look, if you're going to be waiting and watching and you're sort of trying to figure out what exactly you need to do, but the thing is, we've basically had 18 months, right? So you can't wait and watch any longer. You sort of need to do what you have to do, because if you don't, you're losing a lot of time. It costs you a lot of time, right? And she basically stated that time is the currency now that matters, right? Basically, it's not money that matters right now. It's time, right? Because it's not like we can wait and watch in 6 months and then say, you know what, okay, it's safe, let's vaccinate. Because by that point, we already would have lost a specific amount of lives. We already would have had to sacrifice so many young people or the people to the disease, until we realize, okay, you know what, maybe it's safe, maybe we should vaccinate them right now. All right, now, she basically stated that in those 6 months, if a large percentage of 12 to 15-year-olds get infected, in some ways they've actually lost that window of time, right? And so it's sort of very important to it's also maybe the fact that they don't feel the urgency that we should really be feeling right now, because the Delta variant is so very infectious, and we are in an emergency situation right now, because the Delta variant is very infectious, and people have been getting it a lot, right? And that's really scary, because when we're trying to move out of this pandemic, when we're trying to fight against COVID-19, the fact of the matter is, when we have something like the Delta variant, which is highly infectious, it's actually very concerning for everyone in the country, right? Now, basically, there's also been NHS guidance suggesting that 12 to 15-year-olds should be considered competent to actually decide for themselves whether they want to be vaccinated or not. All right. Now, trusts were actually being asked to devise plans to begin the distribution of the vaccine in schools on the 6th of September, with the goal of vaccinating 75% of children by the 1st of November. All right. So that seems to be, the whole conversation. But make sure you stay tuned, because we're actually going to head into a small break right now. And after that, we will be back to discuss this further. So until then, make sure you stay tuned.
The valuations that you place on an asset are always behind you. It's always in hindsight. It's never in front of you. And that's one of the challenge it, right? Because you're always valuing what happened yesterday, and what you need is what's going to happen tomorrow. What am I saving or investing for? Why am I doing it? When will I need the money? And how much money do I need? Yeah. So that's quite important, because when you're looking at your net worth, you got to start with saying, well, what do I want my net worth to be, so that there's a goal, and then work backwards. How do I get there? And if I can start with £50 or $50 a week, if I save that every week, and you can go online and use calculators online. I don't have to teach you the maths behind it, but you can say, okay, and if I get a 3% return and I put this away for how long will it take to reach my goal? And that's called just this basic cash flow projection calculations. And it's what we use in financial planning all the time. What we say to clients is we say, okay, what is your goal? What is